Welcome to Painting Under the Stars. We're so happy you've joined us tonight. You've chosen to spend this evening creating with us here on the beach under the stars, and we're truly glad you're here. In just a moment, you'll be guided through tonight's painting by our instructor, James. You can rewind, replay, or take breaks as often as you like. This experience is meant to move at your pace. There's no pressure here, just relax, enjoy the process. So get comfortable, pick up your brush, and let's begin painting under the stars.
Alright, okay, thanks for that introduction. Alright guys, so let's begin. Now, as we begin, I do want to invite you to step into the story of this land. Long before this was called Fort Lauderdale, long before there were roads, buildings, or streetlights, people lived here. Archaeologists have found evidence that this land was inhabited over 4,000 years ago, including shell middens left by the Tequesta people, a reminder that this place has always been meaningful. So when you're here, you're not just visiting a property, you're standing inside layers of human history. Take a breath, let yourself arrive fully. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. And last one. Deep breath in. Smell that ocean air. Fill your lungs with it. Now slowly let it out. Alright, so go ahead and open your canvas, guys. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna prepare our palette. So go ahead and shake the white, make sure it's nice and mixed. That's one of the first colors we're gonna use. Shake it up. Alright. Make sure your palette, there's no sand on your palette either, because it will get into the painting and alter it. Put a little bit of white on your palette, a little bit of blue. How much is a little bit? A couple of M&M size drops, maybe like 2 M&M size drops. Gotta shake this blue up a little better. Okay. Also gonna add a little bit of green to my palette. We're gonna make teal later and add that into it. You don't have to add teal, it's totally up to you. You can add really whatever colors you want to add to your art. So I do encourage you to, if you see another color you want to add, has a special meaning to you, by all means add it in. Alright, so now that we have a little bit of paint on our palette, we're gonna start off with a little bit of white and blue. It's gonna be more white than blue, so go ahead and dip it into the white first, and then just lightly drag away blue from the main pile of blue. So you get a little, and then on your palette, just mix it in a little circle. Again, you want it to be pretty white, so just barely dab the blue. Alright, we're gonna find a focal point where you want to start with. I'm gonna go ahead and start in this little corner area here. Not directly in the center, just a little bit off center. What you're gonna do is brush outward. Alright, then I'm going to go ahead and grab a little bit of more blue after I spread this out pretty well. Feel free to make some long streaks here and there. Alright, then I'm gonna go ahead and get a little bit of more blue. Alright, so now that you have a little bit of darker blue, go ahead and continue the streaks going outwards. No particular order, but these will get blended in later. Alright, so all I did was grab a little more darker blue, not mixed with anything. It's going to be the outside perimeter. The spot that's away from the focal point that the sun's aiming in. I haven't said it, but now would be also a good time to go ahead and take a progress pic. Just pull your phone out, take a picture of your canvas as it is now, and then we'll probably take 2 or 3 more progress pictures as we go along. That way at the end we can see the progression story. Alright, so I'm just adding a little bit of more mixed blue, mixed with white. A little bit darker blue again for the outer side. And you want to go in these type of outward streaks instead of horizontal, because it's supposed to give the image of feeling like through the streak. This spot here, this spot here. Outward for that focal point. Also, if you do want to hang your canvas, now would probably be a good time to go ahead and paint the outer sides of it. So the top and the sides and the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and pass on painting those sides for me. But again, if you choose to hang it eventually, now's the time to paint the sides. this paint here. Then adding a few streaks of white. This might work a little bit better if you get like a finer brush to go back and do some whites. But there's no right or wrong way to do this. Alright, just getting a little more blue. I'm sorry, I mean white. Going back over that focal point. And I'm kind of just trying to blend it in a little more. Now the level of blendedness is totally up to you. You're the artist. But you'll see what I'm gonna end up doing here. So for your minimum focal point, you don't have to put this many rays, you can put less. We're also gonna add a few more colors soon. Just gonna help that focal point pop out. Fill in this little remaining white here. So, fun fact I do want to share with you. Did you know only 1 in 1,000 baby sea turtles survive? Out of hundreds of hatchlings, usually just one will live long enough to become an adult. Isn't that kind of crazy? It's interesting. If you're around here during turtle season on the beach, you might see them. Yeah, there's quite a few sightings that happen weekly. It's cool because they end up putting like a little makeshift fence around the turtle eggs. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and let this dry for a little bit, put it in front of a fan or some type of nice breeze.
let my canvas dry. You can keep going. Yeah, I wanted to let it dry first so I can go back over it with a little bit of blue. Sorry about that. Fix that really quick. A little bit more white. Back to my focal point. Again, whenever you feel your glimmering water is sufficient, you can let it just dry and hang out for a second, making sure I fix the way mine's look. Alright, so now I have a finer brush. The streaks are coming out finer. And just a heads up, the more pressure you apply on your brush, the wider your strokes are. So apply light pressure to get a thin stroke. Give it those behind there. Alright, just removing these hair from my brush. If you happen to see that on the canvas, the same thing, just go ahead and remove it and paint back over it. Don't forget when painting your brush, the best method would be to dip it in the bottom of the cup a few times. And then if there's already another paintbrush in there, ideally one that has a metal part, like a wooden brush, then you can hold the cup in one hand and push the paintbrush on that metal part of the other brush to drain the excess water and dab it onto the napkin as close by you, just to make sure you can see if anything's still on. Let this dry again. feeling way more comfortable with this. Alright. So I'm going ahead and trying to draw the turtle here. So the body, what helps me draw the body is I think of Halloween time and candy corns. And to me, the body kind of resembles a candy corn. So I draw a candy corn, put a knob on the front for his head, and two little arms, which are like black. And I'm using a thin paintbrush, light pressure. I definitely recommend you pull out a paper. You try it a few times, try to draw it with the regular pen and paper a few times before you draw it on canvas. You can find it, you should be able to find a stencil somewhere near you. Sea life. Which, by the way, you also don't have to paint a turtle. You can paint a shark or an octopus. Whatever else your heart desires. Filling the turtle. So another fun fact on turtles, since I'm drawing a turtle, did you know the sand temperature decides their gender? Warmer sand creates more females. Cooler sand creates more males. Climate change is creating dangerously unbalanced populations. That's a little thing to add to the list of concerns.
Alright, so now that our turtle's done, we're going to go ahead and draw a little bit of seagrass. Go ahead and draw a couple of long leaps here. Now, when drawing the sea leaves, guys, I like to try to draw mine a little bit wavy because underwater there's currents. So it does give a little of a current effect by making them a little bit more wavy. Some leaves on this stem. Alright, just keep on filling in your stalk. Alright, so once you have your leaves drawn out, you can go ahead and draw like a base for those leaves. And not really leaves, it's really grass.
Right over here, we'll draw some rocky coral. I'm just gonna fill this in here. Get my turtle nice and dark. So another fun fact, guys, and one of the reasons you might be using some red light right now while you're at the beach. Artificial lights can kill hatchlings. Baby turtles use the natural moonlight reflecting off the ocean to find the water. Artificial beach lighting can confuse them and send them inland instead. So that's why they make us use red lights, because it's not similar to the moonlight at all. Here in this rocky area, go ahead and draw solitary point. I don't even know what I intend this to be. Just trying to draw something weird on this rock. Detail here, a couple more plants. Feel free to put as many or as few plants as you want. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and draw some other rocky formations over here. Close this gap. Draw a few more little things in the water. Some detail to these plants here. It doesn't have to be like serious detail either. I say detail, I just need a couple leaves and stuff. Alright, so here we're gonna top side, we're also gonna draw some leaves. This view is supposed to be from directly under the turtle looking straight up. And draw a few random squiggly leaves. More coral on this one.
trying to get all these little white spots out of my turtle. Could give a little more definition to the turtle's arms. Alright guys, so getting close to the end, you might want to take another progress picture. If this is all you're going to do to it, so just one single turtle. And now would be a good time for a progress picture. Alright, so you can kind of wrap it up here if all you want to do is just put one turtle. However, it's your art, so feel free to do whatever you want to it. If you want, you can go ahead and put two little turtles. That way, a parent and a child, or two turtles, maybe the same size. Or you can draw whatever else you want. Okay, I'm just adding a little bit more blue. Let me give that glimmer effect a little bit more. Alright, just about done here. So another thing I want to mention before we wrap this up is floating plastic bags in plastic, ocean plastic. So the main problem with floating plastic is it resembles jellyfish, especially to leatherback turtles. So what happens is they end up eating these plastic trash bags thinking they're jellyfish, and when they ingest it, they die. So we definitely want to try to keep as much plastic out as we can. Alright, so like I said, you can add whatever you want to your painting additionally to the turtle. So I'm going to go ahead and add a mystery animal here. What's it going to be? What's it going to be? Can I tell you? Also, this is one of those times where if you want to go ahead and practice on some paper before you put paint to canvas, it would be something that I definitely recommend. Try drawing whatever animal you want to paint 3 or 4 times on regular paper, and then it'll give you a better understanding of the shape.
tail, you can think the look of swimming. Alright, and there you go, I have my two sharks. Just putting them in. So another fun fact you guys might not be too aware of. So, do you know how long turtles can hold their breath for? Would it be A, 1 hour, B, 2 to 3 hours, C, 4 to 7 hours, or D, 12 hours? You said C, 4 to 7 hours? Congratulations, you got that right. Yep, while resting underwater, sea turtles can hold their breath for 4 to 7 hours. Pretty long. Put in this guy. I did have somebody before draw a seahorse, which I thought was pretty interesting, and it wasn't in any of the stencils you see around. Try to properly shape out this thing here. So again, you don't have to put anything extra if you don't want to, but it's just something that I like to do and encourage people to do. Before we close out tonight, we just want to say thank you again. Thank you for spending your evening with us, for choosing to create, to relax, and to paint under the stars. Each one of you brought something unique to your canvas tonight. Remember, art isn't about perfection, it's about expression, and what you created is something only you could have made. We hope you felt the calm of the ocean, the warmth of the lights, and the joy of letting your creativity flow. We would absolutely love to see you again at another Painting Under the Stars event. And next time, bring a friend. Art is even more special when it's shared. Keep pursuing your artistic ambitions, keep trying new things, keep picking up that brush even when you're unsure. Creativity grows when you give it space. From all of us here, thank you for being a part of this experience tonight.